Hey, yo, American manufacturing and manufacturing all over the globe. I'm Drew, the MFG Crow, and I want to address you guys right now. We've got a major problem, but where I'm from, we turn problems into opportunities. We can't hire enough people to fill the jobs that we have right now. We're not going to push American manufacturing or manufacturing period forward if we don't have more women, black, and brown people in these places. If you look around, we're not proportionally represented. If we can't put people in front of machines, the conferences like this and shows like this won't matter. But today, I've got a gift for you guys. Because manufacturing saved my life, I want to help save manufacturing's life. I'll do everything that I can to make sure that these jobs are filled. I want to introduce to you guys the people that I assembled together like the Avengers, to give you guys some tips to understand how we can fix this problem, how we have an amazing opportunity to take an antiquated system and turn it around on its head. We not only have to rebrand, but we've got to reset. I brought representatives from tech, from diversity, from work programs, and I'm gonna give them an opportunity to show you guys what we're doing as the new American manufacturing renaissance is upon us. Let me introduce my friends.
My name is Erica Staley. I'm the Executive Director of Manufacturing Renaissance, a not-for-profit on the west side of Chicago. But I'm also a granddaughter of a manufacturing worker who came up to Chicago looking for opportunity from Tennessee as part of the Great Migration. I'm also the daughter of manufacturing workers who got the kinds of jobs that allowed us to get into the middle class. And then for the last 15 years, I've been working with young people across the west and south side of Chicago, exposing, inspiring, and preparing them for career paths in manufacturing. I get to run a fantastic organization who we believe that manufacturing is a powerful tool for development. All the developments, youth development, workforce development, economic development, sustainable development.
New generation finds jobs differently than we once did. We're not looking in the back of papers. We're not looking to come to your job and drop off a resume. That's not how it works anymore. We're finding the jobs online. We put into Google what we want to do, and then we look for the results that come up. You don't have a company that's focused on manufacturing, understands our industry, and can get these jobs to the people quickly. But today I got somebody for you. My man, Patty Yo, founder and CEO of Factory Fix. Patty Yo, what's up, man? Tell them what you got going on.
Drew, it's great to be here, man. Yeah, so Factory Fix is the largest online network of skilled manufacturing workers. You can think of us as like a LinkedIn, but built specifically for this industry. Some of the world's top manufacturers, Siemens, Emerson, Parker Hannifin, use us to connect with the talent they need.
With help of people like Megan Zimba, we're making sure that platforms for people exist to show the representation of the people in the industry now that want you all here as well. Megan Z, let us know what's going on.
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Zimba. I am the founder of Mavens of Manufacturing, which is a live video broadcast series that shares the stories of all the wonderful women who are in the manufacturing and engineering sector. One of my other passions is really connecting with kids from the younger generations and showing them why this sector is so exciting.
If we want to start bringing people into the field, we have to have real strategies, providing the people the content that they want to consume. My man, Will Healy, does that well.
Wow, that was a lot of hype. Okay, cool. So I'm Will Healy. I'm a board member at the Advanced Manufacturing Industry Partnership in Cincinnati. We're a local partnership where we're trying to engage manufacturers with schools, with the community, with workforce partners, engaging with workforce partners that are working with second chance citizens, that are working with people who are leaving the prisons, who are working with people who are in underserved communities, legal immigrants, people with disabilities, trying to connect the workforce partners in our local community to the manufacturers looking for workforce. And I love making content that talks about how we engage the generations and how we connect together. And Drew is absolutely right. That is the way that we win, because they are digital.
We started working when a lot of the factories started closing down back in the 70s and 80s. And what happened is because, essentially all the parents and grandparents of our young people today lost their jobs in manufacturing. And At the same time, you have schools who are no longer investing in good vocational or training programs.
Yep.
So what we saw is that the youth really were a strategic opportunity for us. If we're going to try and make Chicagoland a global leader in advanced manufacturing, we really need to find a way to get the next generation of young people, not just to work in manufacturing, but to lead in manufacturing. It was really about the culture, that we had to meet young people where they were, that we had to build relationships. So we created a program that was really about actually emphasizing the relationships. So as much as the tech is really important, as much as the good pay in these companies are really important, we really need to find a lot of different ways to make these environments like welcoming and warm and inviting, and where a young person can show up, walk in the front door of your company and be like, man, I belong here.
So we have a huge challenge there. And so the way that we keep them is through technology. The way that we keep them is through engaging them and making them part of our community. When we make people-centric technology investments, when we invest in the workers themselves, that allows us to actually make their life better. We create a lifestyle return on investment. That's huge. How do we make sure that they can go to the kids' soccer game, not be exhausted? How do we make sure that when they go home from work, they like their job? Most importantly, when they're sitting down at a basketball game at their kid's high school and their neighbor turns to them and says, my job sucks, is it fun to work where you work? You want them to have a positive response for you, and that's really the thing that you have to create. So many young people are digital natives. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, you are sus. You are sus. They don't believe you're a real company. Even you could be a multinational, thousands of people. If you don't have a LinkedIn page, and many of the people here today don't, they won't work there because they're digital natives. And so they want to see your company, they want to see your people. You've got to have a YouTube channel where you're sharing content of what it's like to work inside your organization. You have to have a strategy. Lori Harbour is a really amazing economist. She has a lot of speaking in manufacturing, and she says, and I love her, she has such a great quote, HR is the second most important job in your company. It's the second most important job in your company. They have to be strategic, they have to be focused on retention and recruitment, and they do that through a partnership with the marketing team and creating content that shows what it's like to work in your company.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, to go to the first part of your question, what's the biggest obstacle? I think it's competition right now, man, and not competition from other manufacturers. Like when you're talking about the entry-level jobs, you know, a young person's first job in the industry, you're not competing against other manufacturers. You're competing against Amazon, they're the big boy, Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, the gig economy. So what manufacturers have to do, in my opinion, is really pitch that manufacturing is not just a job, it's a career.
That's exactly what we have to do. We've got to give them a pathway. We've got to show them a finish line that they're interested in, and then give them a clear path to be able to get there. What do you see as the main obstacle in filling jobs in our sector, and how can we fix it?
Representation. So if they don't see themselves in the career choice that they want to be, they're not going to pursue it. So we got to do a better job at bringing more diverse communities into manufacturing so that they can see themselves.
So representation matters. We've got an opportunity. Like I said earlier, the Great Resignation. A lot of people from other sectors have been leaving their jobs. These are not just entry-level or blue-collar jobs. We have the opportunity to start hiring more black executives, more female executives, more brown executives. We need to put people in the positions to show what we want to have on the other end. I love it. So creating spaces for people to not just have a job, but move through that job and become, she said something important, manufacturing leaders. And that's what we're here for. We're here to build the next leaders of tomorrow, the next manufacturing leaders